Polish Panthers. I think I might officially steal that one away from Adam. Savage, especially with the way Cammy and Setty have been playing for 2 straight years. Yes, you've heard that right. Not 1, not 2, but over 2 years. Yes, I corrected myself there. That's over 700 days of success from Cammy and Setty. Consistency, 17 grand finals appearances for Cammy. They are just out of this world, and it's through different meta changes, through different map changes, through different weapons, through different everything. These guys always seem to figure it out, and the key is it's almost usually never at a big name POI.
I mean, that's a long time, Jacob. That is a long time, and that's what I like as well. Like you said, it's not always at a big POI. They find the most effective way to not only make use of the early game, but, you know, these drops, whether it be using EMPs to shield or to fish more efficiently and get those heals, as it's such a heal-off dominant type of meta. They always kind of find their route and what they like doing. That's what you love about that duo, right? Resin, though, with Vidil. 4 elims on the board. Up in an elevated position as well. And they don't even need the heals right now. They know that they'll be continuing to play aggressive here. And they can find them later on. As Chicho and Trulex have taken control of the island. Few duos around them, but no trouble.
I really thought I would see more of Chicho and Trulex in big moments, end games, high grounds. They've won 2 games in the global championship final while contested at that. So when you have those sort of accolades, those sort of accomplishments in one of the biggest stages of them all, you kind of get to expecting big things come major time. Probably need some time to warm up and get things rolling as Vidil and Reason end up in a 2v1 situation. I feel like the time is ticking before this one does come to an end, because these are 2 juggernauts of the region, and they know how to end these fights before that player can kind of get out, especially when already have the shields drained off. And interesting for him to just take that moment, get the big pot. Vidil's going in, trying to end this one just like that. And I said they don't want to let that early damage go to waste, but in the mini-map, I see another team towards the south, slowly but surely creeping up in their direction.
Look, Resin's got faith in his duo, all right? Resin's like, you know what? Vidil's in this 1v1, but I'm just going to pop a big pot. I got no worries that Vidil won't win in this engagement. There's no way he hits this. Oh! Wow. 290 Reaper headshot, taking him out. I'm not gonna lie, he was looking kind of further out. I thought it was gonna be a long-range snipe, but that was still something.
I blame you. I blame you, because I felt like maybe he would have missed, but then you called him out. So that's Takada's fault. Thank you, Takada. Cursed him there in one time at least.
I see how it is.
Yuki and Moldy Fishy. Just being persistent on this cover. Full center zone on this 50-50. So at this point in time, they do have some room and some time to work with before other teams begin to third party over. But an ill-advised peek on the Moldy Fishy. He gets tagged up just a little bit, but that little bit is enough to make him second guess if he wants to fight this or not.
Now as well, he continues to look through the cone, throwing the medkits to the teammate. I don't think this is going to turn into a huge engagement. There hasn't been any reason to yet, as the shots just go back and forth, but I believe all they're looking for is a bit of damage. It's not like they need the eliminations. Well, actually, Moldy Fishy here could use some more materials, but not enough for them to risk it all.
Yeah, it's still a little too early in some of these zones, especially without Storm Surge really forcing the action just yet. You do have the comfortability to bide for your time. You don't have to force any moves, put yourself in a spot in which you don't like. And Gripey and Kylie, they found a spot that they do like. It may not be builds high in the sky, but it's definitely a bush that they found some safety in before they Flowberry Fizz their way out of there. And you can see they're going towards the south side of that 50-50 where it is beginning to open up. But they're rotating parallel to another team. It's just a matter of do they see them or not. Because once they get to this other side of the mountain, that's when they're going to be in line of sight of one another.
Gotta be careful being in line of sight, especially when they see you run into a bush like that. That bush is no longer as safe. All it takes is one Reaper shot and a bit of luck from the opponent to take you out. As we go back to the Polish Panthers. Polish Panthers, as Adam likes to say it. Cammy and Setty on the complete uncongested side of the zone. You can take a look at the mini-map bottom right. Nobody close to them, allowing them to have a basically free rotate. There's one duo now, which is applying a bit of pressure, but that's literally the only duo that has line of sight on them. So they could even just kind of play it a bit slow or just wait for them to rotate, which is exactly what they did, and now they have the freedom once again.
Two peas in a pod. I was thinking that same thing. Even though they're trying to gatekeep them from now, eventually they will have to rotate forward in towards the zone. And that's that window of opportunity both Setty and Cammy found. And immediately you see him try to build up for some of that height. He knows he might not stay in this spot, so you see the switch up of materials as well. And you see a lot of these calculated moves being made right before our very eyes as they get every piece of information fed to them.
Looking over at Steno Lucy, though, who are more centered here in terms of being on the edge or not. They are on the north edge of the new zone. This is actually where a lot of the duos will be ending up after their rotate. So it will turn into more of a congested area. As Steno was almost cracked, forced to pop some of his shields. And it looks like they don't have too much to worry about in terms of damage. But you can never have enough damage. Never have too much. Trulex, Chicho might have been the ones blocking off Cammy and Setty in quite the advantageous position here, to be fair.
Yeah, they're just on the edge of zone, being able to look on into the distance, trying to see if anybody's going to rotate from high ground. They spot out a player, unable to land the shots, but it's the information that is important here that Trulex was able to gather, feed over to Chicho. They formulate the pan and spotting everybody either rotating or where those players are positioned in a box right next to them. Another team might not necessarily be faring well when it comes to Storm Surge. Chicho under siege, under pressure, shields get dropped. Trulex takes a massive shot as well, and this is where things get turned sideways for Trulex and Chicho. Since they took so much damage so early, they cannot fight this position, so they're forced to expend mats to go upward, which isn't always a bad thing, but it all depends on where the next zone is going to pull, which it does seem to be a max one.
Chicho actually, I believe, got a knock during that engagement, maybe even an elimination, which gave them a bit more time to stay up above and make those decisions. But now, with the materials they've used and the amount of shields they've had to waste as well on that situation, seeing even Hen already built up in the zone, it's going to make it very difficult for them to maintain the tower they had built. As Hen not only has height now, but even 7 eliminations just to his name. 1,700 damage above. This could be their match.
That's actually impressive between these two. They've never really been afraid of big moments, of big fights, but they make sure they are the right ones when they do have to take them time and time again. Into the distance, they're just trying to chop down Reason, not really gain any bit of elevation, but turns aside. It looks like the deal possibly has his eyes set on him. Eclipse and Frizzy as well. So much focus coming in this direction. But because they're so far ahead of the damage threshold, they don't have to necessarily peek. But as we jump on board, Trulex and Chicho, they go down with only a few placement points in their back pocket this game.
Cammy Setty, though, looking a lot healthier than Trulex and Chicho, as they are actually taking some shots at that tower that Hen has built in the zone. Wants to have the option to break them down as the zone has pulled towards them on the west side. And they don't want to give them that freedom of already having a tower built. I believe they're ready to almost just edit what's above them after breaking that down. But will they want the high ground? Is Cammy and Setty, is that something they're looking for? Or is it just a disruption that they want to make? As RZ now, Egrim. It looks like the contestation has already begun. Someone's up above them. The duo start rotating through. You got to make a decision. Do you fight for it or do you keep rotating?
Yeah, you kind of see the hesitation live and in the moment, going back and forth, looking low, looking high, but unfortunately it took too long to make that decision. Hen and Vasquez are able to kind of solidify that high ground and force that team not only towards the low ground, but almost ultimate low ground at that. And you can already see Vasquez going to go forward. Hen is going to put some suppressive fire down to try to make that jump towards the front side of the zone that much easier. But it's Reason who's going to be the gatekeeper from now, but a 2v1, two well-placed shots is going to momentarily pause them, but they actually give it up altogether. They don't want to fight against Vidil and Reason.
High ground keeps changing over and over again. There was 3 changes in that one zone as Hen and Vasquez has been forced down below now. They still have an incredible amount of damage, but now Hen is left alone. Duo partner down, 3 med kits, has the option to play a bit slow here, even stay in zone. I don't think Hen is going to be making any risky decisions anytime soon. Diox though, and Cade trying to pop that med kit, but floor gets broken, cancellation as the rotation comes on through. Does have a bit of materials, but not enough to be comfortable.
Yeah, he did just enough to claim the space on that low ground, reunite with his teammates, but definitely running out fast as Hen drops down low. He's looking a little light when it comes to the resources, but a pull back in the zone is going to give him a sigh of relief for at least momentarily, but you still see him on the lookout, figuring out where everybody's going to rotate from. With that extra time, he was able to get some information before he makes his next move, but it's Gripey and Kylie, the ones that are overtaking the high ground late in the game, but they still have one more player to go through. A quick cone in the box is going to have them successful in this height take.
Resident Vidil, have they given it up? They've been blocked off, but just for how long as a shot comes through and another duo once again. Cammy and Setty, they had their eyes on it, but now they've claimed it. Up above, taking shots now on the duo's second height. They know how many duos have been contesting height throughout this match, but the materials have been used up. Resin now takes out 1, takes out 2. That's 6 elims left alone. Forced back in zone, tries to get those med kits. Unable to, now forced back again. 22 HP, no more med kits to work with, but has the materials to stay up.
A little bit of a blunder as he panicked trying to find that med kit. It's still towards the backside, and with the HP that he has, he cannot go back for it. Hen now trying to make something out of nothing. Nice shots as he's staggering himself as long as possible. Reason's going to be above. He spots him out as a solo. Nice drop down attempt, but unsuccessful. But first you don't succeed, you try again. And it's Steno who gets taken down as we enter our top 4. And it's the Kings on top of the mountain. Over 2 years of dominance. They're looking to extend that for a 3rd straight year. Cammy and Setty.
Looking to see what type of heal-offs they have. There was just one more player left, but it looks like he's ran out of med kits now. It's looking like just a bit of aggression is all they need. 2 versus 1v1. Down below, Eclipse. You're fighting the solo and there's a duo up top. He gets that one elimination, but now Cammy drops down and picks up that last piece of the pie, securing the victory royale.
They were like a bird in the sky, watching those 2 solos battle it out, trying to line up the shot perfectly. As soon as one of them went down, Cammy set himself to take care of the rest. With a well-placed shot, Cammy and Setty make it look easy. And after a little bit of a slow start to our day in Game 1 on the broadcast, they have definitely picked up the pace to be in that championship caliber form we know they can take.
They took height at the perfect moment as well. There was so many duos contesting it, but they were the ones that executed that contestation at the perfect moment, and they were even ready to execute the heal off. Cammy went down to disrupt the low ground to get those frags. Setty was up above, ready to heal off, but all they needed was that one quick pump by the hammer pump shotgun, and Cammy cleaned it up, getting them that nice victory royale.
Yep, just like that, with a few games left on our docket, I'm going to throw it on over to our analyst to break it down and show us what we got.